What's up, cool cats and kittens? Welcome back to another video over here on the Ike Bowers channel, where we usually kind of just do whatever I want. But now, look, you may have noticed something different. New surroundings, not just a white wall. Wow, isn't that something? I moved. You're probably wondering why I didn't upload. This is pretty much why. I moved over the summer. I got a new apartment after 3 years. After 3 years of living in a dorm, I finally moved to an apartment. Finally moved to an apartment. Oh my gosh, it feels so good to be like living in an actual space with a kitchen. Whew, there's nothing like it. Also, had a pretty bad accident over the summer. Not say pretty bad accident. I fell off a longboard. And it hurt quite a bit, and I was down for the count for probably about a week because I couldn't really move my face very much. I was in a lot of pain, and I was a little crybaby. But yeah, I don't know if you've noticed, but I sure have. Film photography reviews have done very well on my channel. So I think that is going to be the primary focus of this channel now. So if you don't like it, bye-bye, because that's mainly what I'm going to be doing. I'll be uploading a little bit of just little videos I want to make, but mostly it's going to be film photography related. Which brings us to the title of this video's title, which is the Minolta Maxim 5000. Which I gotta go grab out of the closet because I forgot to get it. Okay, so here it is. This is the Minolta Maxim 5. Can you even see it? Here it is, the Minolta Maxim 5000. Had this. This is actually my first camera I ever got. This was my first ever film camera. And of course made the rookie mistake of opening up the back with my first roll. Here's some photos though. They look kind of cool. Yeah, I just remember when I got this camera, I was looking up like reviews and stuff like that because when I initially got it, it was not working. So I was looking up reviews to see what I could find out about it. And pretty much nothing. There is like no videos on the Maxxum 5000. There's like little videos of people speaking like Spanish or like Portuguese or something of them like going or like looking around the camera, but nothing like showing like pictures or like their actual thoughts about the camera. So I was like, you know what? It's time for someone to do it. It's time for someone like me to do it. And first of all, we're going to do a nice little walk around, get ourselves acquainted with the camera. So that's what we're going to do right now. Okay, so first of all, you have the lens. Yeah, so you got the lens, and then you have this little, I'm sorry, I'm doing this one hand. I promise I'm going to get a mic stand soon. I just haven't yet. It's just not in the funds. So first of all, you have in this little slide out thing, your ISO that you can set, programmed or manual, which you can change between, and then timer. I unfortunately can't use program and timer, manual on this camera because the liquid crystal display on the inside, it's just completely like vaporized, so you can't read anything. So I would just be aiming in the dark every time I was to do it. So I have to shoot on auto. Just a little disclaimer for all the photos you're going to see. These were all taken in auto. Then moving to the back, you have your viewfinder that you can look through. To the right of that, you have your reverse, which you have to press the button and then pull the lever that's to the left. So yeah, you're going to press reverse, and then you're going to hold that lever, and that's what's going to keep the film reversing. And then you have BLC. Honestly, let's find out. I don't remember what this does. Yeah, I don't know. Moving up to the top of the camera again, you have where it shows if you're in program or manual, and then you have how many shots you have left on the counter, and then you have lock, which is off, on, and then there's that little thing that looks kind of like a Wi-Fi looking thing. Oh, I just accidentally touched it. As you can hear, it will tell you pretty much what it's telling you is warning you have your lens cap on, but it will like beep whenever it's like underexposed and stuff. But usually for me, it's just warning me that my lens cap is on. And then above that, I believe that's where you can change your aperture, but like I said, I can't even use manual on this camera. It's literally all just auto, so that's annoying. And then right next to that, you know, you have your shutter, which is really cool and aesthetic and all 80s rigid sports car looking. Freaking love that thing. Next to the lens, you have those other dials, and I believe those are going to probably be for, that's actually probably going to be for your aperture. And then this is the ones on the top are probably for your f-stop. I'm sorry, I should sound more knowledgeable, I know, but I literally can't use them. And then below that you have your autofocus and manual switch, because yes, this camera was made in the 80s, but it does have autofocus and it's actually not that bad. It's a little slow, but it's not that bad. It's actually pretty good. There are times I'll actually use it to make sure that I have the right focus, which is pretty cool. And then between both of those things that I talked about, you have your lens remover button, lens remover button. Over where you have your hand grip, that's where the batteries go in. It takes a lot of AAAs, I believe. So that's kind of annoying, but you know, old tech, that's what you got to deal with. But yeah, that's pretty much everything on this camera. There's no built-in flash or anything like that, but it does work with electronic flashes. You don't have to pin it in to the little like whatchamacallit. You can actually just have an electronic flash and it'll be able to read the camera, so that's awesome. I would do a little bit of history, but I think that those are kind of pointless. In the last few videos, I think it just makes the video drag. If y'all really want the history of the camera, let me know. And I'll either include them back into the videos or find a way to add them, like make a secondary video about like the history of cameras. But let's go ahead and do a little slideshow reel of photos taken with this camera, and we'll talk about them, and then I'll give you guys my honest thoughts about the camera. Okay, so I have it pulled up on both screens. Can you see this screen over here? No, you can't really. I have a second screen right here that I'm looking at the photo. I also have it pulled up here, and then my Mac is just doing whatever. I just want to go through a few of the photos that I really liked, and just kind of talk about why I like them. So this photo right here was one of the very few photos I converted to black and white, which I know is kind of annoying because it's like, you can literally buy film in black and white. Some people get really butthurt when people convert color film to black and white, but I just think it looked a lot better in black and white. And this was a house my parents lived in, and so just black and white felt more nostalgic. They don't live there anymore. They moved to a different state. They really didn't even live in this house very long, but it was a very interesting vibe that house gave. So I just wanted to document it, take a photo of it, because it was like weirdly homey, but also not at the same time, because we were not country people and this was like in the country. I just really like this photo because I love the classic like foliage coming over through the foreground. I just really love the depth of the photo, like with the foliage in the back, foliage in the front, a little bit of foliage coming close to the middle ground up there in the top right corner, and then just the house right there during, I believe it was golden hour when I took this photo. Of course you can't tell because it's black and white, but yeah, I really like this photo a lot. Also, sorry if the audio is like really booming and like peaking. I'm also not going to go back and re-record it. This is my first time holding a mic to my face while recording for YouTube, so give me a break. Usually I do it through Boom or I have a shotgun mic on. This is my first time trying to do handheld and talk, so there's a lot going on. But yeah, I just like the way this photo came out. As we go through these photos though, I want you guys to pay really deep attention to the detail in these photos, because there's something I'm going to point out once we're done with this. I think you'll start to see a pattern if you start to really, if you start to really go into the photos. Okay, I really should end on this photo, because I honestly think this shows the absolute truest potential that this camera can offer. I love this photo, and I think I always will. It is just so pretty. Just the way the navy blue of his Dallas Mavericks shirt really pops. The black on his hat pops, but it's so differentiated from the black in the foliage. And the different, just the so many different hues of orange in the back, or not orange. There's so many different hues of green in the background. I just freaking love it. And just like the slight tinge of bluish in that, I think it just all works together super well. I love this photo. Great detail on it too. Especially the way I look at it, I'm not the kind of person who's going to blow up my photos super big. My photos are usually going to be found on Instagram. I just think it looks fantastic. It looks so good in that, at that small too. It's superb. And this right here, this is a 4K monitor. And I'm looking at it right now. Let me get a little closer. And it still looks great. This is one of the, I think the only exception to the thing I'm going to say later, a little foreshadowing. Okay, now this photo, gotta blame a little bit on myself. I edited these way back when I first got into film photography, because like I said, this was my first ever film camera. So the greens definitely look fake. They look kind of like Play-Doh. I don't know how else to describe it, but I think it fits the aesthetic I was going for. I think that is really the style. I wanted it to look kind of otherworldly, like she was literally just like found in some magical forest or something. So I really like it, but I do also understand that the greens look very strange. But yeah, I love this photo as well. This was also taken on that camera. I believe this was taken with autofocus because it was really bright outside, and so I just it was just too hard to try to see what I was doing. So I think I used autofocus for this too, and it came out pretty good. All right, let's get a little up close and personal. So this is where the weirdness starts to come in. I still like this photo, and I think it looks fine on a phone, but there is some really weird digitization going on. And at first I thought it was the scanner I was using or the film that I was using. I have used multiple scanners. I've used multiple types of film. They all get this weird digital look to them. Just especially like the closer you look in, it looks like it's taken on like a 5 megapixel camera at some points. Like it doesn't really, like, I love like gritty looking film, but this is like a weird hybrid of like gritty looking film with like digitization, megapixely kind of look. I don't know how to describe it, and you could blame it on the scanner, but like I said, I've tried so many different scanners and all of my photos come out with this strange look. Especially the closer you get to a subject, the more noticeable it is. Here's another example. You probably won't be able to tell if you're watching this on your phone. If you can zoom in on your phone, try to do that. Or just go to my Instagram, which will be down in the description, and really try to find that photo and zoom in. It's just so strange. That's like my only complaint about this camera, is just this weird digitization that it gets. With all that being said, do I like this camera? Yes, I love this camera. I will always love this camera. I will keep it for as long as I feel it should be in my hands. I really do love this camera. I love the look of it. I love how angular it is. I love the autofocus. I honestly enjoy the way a lot of the photos turn out. Some of them can look a little gross. I think this photo is before editing. Some of them, you can edit them to kind of take away that weird digital look from them. I love this camera. I highly recommend, if you find it, you go pick it up. I would say my price range for it would be no higher than 35, 40, maybe 50. Nah, 45. 45 is my cap. Oh my gosh, this chair keeps popping. 45 absolute cap, but if you can find it for lower than that, pick it up if you want it. This camera's awesome. It has a great weight to it. It just has a cool freaking like sports car aesthetic to it. It's a great camera to get into film photography with. This is what I got into film photography with, and I highly recommend it. It also has DX code reading, so it's like got all the amenities you really need or would want. But yeah, I really like this camera. I would highly recommend you get it. Any questions, comments, or concerns, leave them down in the comments. I will probably most likely answer them. Sometimes I don't see them in a timely manner, but I will try. I've also had people message me on Instagram asking questions. That is also totally okay. I will respond if you send me a message over there in a timely manner, I think. So yeah, just go over there if you guys need help with cameras. I've had a lot of people who will watch these videos and then they'll buy the camera and then they'll have a problem. They'll try to get me to fix it. I think it's worked with one person. All the others, it's just been a DOA camera. It's just dead, broke. But yeah, that's the Minolta Maxim 5000. Yeah, I think that's the end of the video. I really enjoy doing these camera reviews. I want to do more in the future. Like I said, I have a few more cameras in the pipeline. This has probably been my favorite thing I've done on the channel, and I'll definitely keep doing it. Hopefully I'll have a mic stand at some point in the future. Sorry if this video felt really disjointed. I just really wanted to get it out. So there wasn't a lot of pre-thought that went into it, even though there probably should have been. Make sure to follow me on Instagram. I've also been streaming a little bit on Twitch at, I think it's like major_spooks. Major Spooks, that's the name. I think I'm gonna start doing some editing streams, like video editing streams. I'm taking a visual effects compositing class this semester, and I was thinking about live streaming me doing those projects. So yeah, make sure to tune in over there. And that's all I've got for y'all. See ya. Bye bye. Bye bye.